Hi guys, today this one's going to be a long one and I'm going to make a risotto, and there'll be parts that I stop because I don't want to have to take you through all of it because it will take a while. But we'll start off and I'll tell you how we're going to do it. In this saucepan right here, I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of butter and I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And there we go. So this risotto is going to be, it's going to have a tomato and Parmesan flavor to it. And I've got tomato paste right here. I'm getting ready to chop up, really to grate my fresh Parmesan. I have chicken stock here and I have a barrio rice. And as you can see, it's right here. This is a different rice if you're not used to doing risotto. It's a different rice and it's going to be a creamy rice, but it is labor intensive at first and you have to sit there and stir it. So that's the part that I'm going to shut off so you don't have to watch all of it. But what we've got here in this pot, again, we've got 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And I have here a 1/2 cup of chopped onion. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in there. And we're not gonna have it on terribly high, but we're going to, about medium. We're going to saute this for about 3 minutes. And I can, the flavor, as soon as that onion hit, the flavor is there. So we're going to go ahead and get this sauteed and make sure that that is on. I've got my glasses on today because my contacts were bothering me. So we've got this happening. What will happen after we do this for about 3 minutes, we're going to add the barrio rice and we are going to let that nuttiness come out of the rice. And we will do that for about 2 to 3 minutes. And then after that, we'll start adding the other things. And really, this is not hard. It is just one of those types of things that you have to sit over the stove and you work at it. Now, there are some chefs, and I'm not a chef, I'm just a cook. There are some chefs that do it in the microwave or in the oven. I haven't tried that yet, but this works for me. So we've got the chopped onion going, and we're gonna keep that going a little bit. Now you can vary this. If you wanna do risotto with shrimp, you can do that. You can add your shrimp toward the end. You can do different herbs. You can do a rosemary risotto. It's up to you. This one, as I said, is going to be reminiscent of one that we had when we were in Italy. And every time we go to a place, I try to taste it. We would go to Florence and we go to this place called El Porcospino where Franco Maradona was, and Franco was wonderful. We truly enjoyed him. He's not there anymore. He's at, I think, Lake Garda. So, but we'll have to get in touch with him if we ever have the opportunity to go back. But right now, the onion, the aroma is coming off of that onion. It smells so, so good. And it is a very warm November day. And I am going to smoke some chicken and I'm going to smoke a small pork tenderloin for dinner. And we're gonna have some wild shishito peppers. You've seen my shishito pepper recipe before. All right, I think, let's see, how many minutes have we done that? We're good to go. We're gonna go ahead and add our 1 cup of the barrio rice. And let me show you what the grains look like. It is definitely different from the long grain rice. See it? Very short grain, and it becomes very moist and creamy. So we've got this, and we're gonna let this cook about 2 to 3 minutes. And I'm gonna stir it. Now we will get a very nutty aroma that is going to come off of this. You don't wanna keep your fire too high. You don't wanna burn the rice at the bottom. And what will happen as we do this, as we progress along, we will add a cup of the chicken stock at a time. Now I did not make my chicken stock. I'm cheating. I used one of the jars that you can mix up. Basically, it's a base. So you've got to be very careful, because if you add too much salt, it will be too salty for you. And since we're going to use Parmesan cheese in this, then you will already get some salt from the Parmesan cheese. I'm using an unsalted butter, and you've got to be careful about that. If you use a salted butter in your cookies or some of your cooking, then what will happen is you might be adding too much salt, and we don't want to do that. We want to make sure we do it just right. You know, this is going to be a very nice meal, and you do not want to have too much salt in it. So as I said, I probably may not even add more salt. It just depends, but I am going to taste it, and you've got to be careful. The other thing I'm going to put in is white wine. Now you can get the recipe, the basic recipe, on the back of the Rice Select Arborio rice container, but this is a modification using, of course, the tomato paste and using the Parmesan cheese. All right, that smell is starting to come off. And what will happen, and as I said, I'm not going to show you the whole thing because it will take too long for us to do this. I am going to add, as I said, 1 cup at a time, and I am going to stir it in. So I'll show you the first cup going in. And right now that butter is just encapsulating that rice, that butter and that oil. So that's encapsulating that rice, and that will help to make that creamy texture. There you go. Ah, it smells so good. All right, we've got that. Now I'm going to go ahead and add about a cup. You hear that sizzle? And we're going to start to stir that. And we will stir, and as the water is absorbed into the rice, we will add a little bit at a time. Now, I'm not going to bore you with this. We're going to stop the video right now, and I'll come back a little bit later and let you take a peek. So I'll be stirring. So, see you in a bit. Meanwhile, we're back. Let me make sure it's on. Yes, we're good to go. All right, let me bring this over so you can see it. It's already starting to get creamy. Can you see that? Yeah, it's already starting to get creamy. And so we're going to go ahead and add the next round of liquid here. There we go. About a cup, and we're going to continue to stir. Now, that, of course, is creaming the rice, and you're adding the liquid, and you're adding flavor. Now, we're not going to add the tomato yet, nor are we going to add the wine. That'll be toward the end. I have grated about a cup, a little bit over a cup of Parmesan Reggiano cheese. So I do that on my own, and it's more economical, and basically you can get a large chunk of it. One time we were in Italy, and we had stopped at a cheese place, and I brought the cheese home. It was amazing, but my suitcase smelled like cheese, of course, but it was truly amazing. So I like to grate my own, but sometimes I do get lazy and I use the stuff that's already grated. So there you go, that's a secret. We'll get this going. I'm going to stop the video again, and just know that while I'm gone, I'm still stirring. We're back, and we're still stirring. So we've added that second round. We had about 3 cups of stock to go. So you can use vegetable stock also if you're a vegetarian. You can substitute out the butter for ghee, and you can use vegetable stock. It's up to you. You can also throw in some vegetables in here. So you can vary this up. That's why there are so many options to cook with. So you can do what you like. I truly love this with the slight taste of the tomato and the Parmesan. It is really good. So we're almost at that creamy spot again. There we go. So I'm gonna add in not quite a cup. There we go, I'm making a mess. And what I'm gonna do is go ahead and stir, but I'm gonna add the tomato paste into the stock now to get that integrated. So I've got about 2 heaping tablespoons of tomato paste. I don't want it to be bright red. What I want is, I want the flavor, but I want a little bit of a salmon color. And that's how it was in Italy. And it was salmon color. It was just so beautiful. And I'll have this recipe on my food blog. So you know where my food blog is at www.cabuser.wordpress.com. The recipe will be on there in a couple days. It's not going to be on there today because I've got all this cleanup to do. Unfortunately, I'm not like a television chef. I don't have that person to help me out in the background. So I also have the black pepper that I was talking about, and I'm going to go ahead and throw that in the liquid mixture right there. Let's give this a stir. Don't want to neglect it. Get it all incorporated. And we're going to come back. So I'm going to stop the video right now and we'll be back. I'm going to come back over here and show you the creaminess of this. There we go. See, it's still got some more liquid that I've got to cook off. So I'm going to go back to that and cook off some more of the liquid. As you can see, my flame is not very high because I don't want to do this quickly. I want to take my time and make sure that rice just absorbs that liquid and all those delicious flavors, and then it will be wonderful. Now, this is all mixed up and ready to go. My cheese is all ready, my wine is ready, so it's coming together. Bear with me. All right, we're ready for the next round of liquid. And remember, that has the tomato in it and the pepper. So here we go. Go ahead and put that in. That's going to be the last round of liquid. So I like to split those 3 cups of stock into basically 4 times. Now I'm going to do a splash of white wine, and I'm using a Chardonnay. It doesn't have to be an expensive Chardonnay, but we're going to just a splash. So the cheese will go in at the end. Now I've got we've got a lot of liquid in here that I'm going to cook down, so I'll be back. We're still working on it. Let me show you the color. Can you see that? So that's the salmon color that I was talking about. You've got to make sure that you are getting that tomato paste. If there are any bits left of it, get it incorporated. So it's still going to take me some time to get to where I need to be with this. But you see, it's taking quite a while. It takes about 5 to 7 minutes to cook off the liquid each time with the heat at medium low. So you don't want to do it quickly. All right, the other thing is I've got a little bit more than a cup of Parmesan cheese that I've grated, and that's fine. In fact, that's going to be really good. I like, if a little is good, a lot is better. That's what I think, except when it comes to pepper. And sometimes I get crazed with the pepper. So I hope that you guys go to my blog and get the recipe for this, because I think you'll like it. I'm going to continue on, and then when I add the cheese, I'll turn the videos back on. So here we go. So we're back. The liquid is cooking off. As you get toward the end, what you should do is you should take one of the grains and try the grain. And if it's still hard, you may need to add a little extra stock. This is still really too hard to be where we need it. So what I'll probably do, as we cook this down a little bit more, if it doesn't get to where I need to be, I'll just pop some more wine in it or some more chicken stock. I think we probably still have a few more minutes to get it to the right consistency. So we'll hang in there with this. As I said, this is not a short endeavor, and if you have a glass of wine, it makes it go a lot faster. Although I have no glass of wine today. What's the deal there? So anyway, maybe it's a little early, but we'll keep going. I'll be back. I don't want you to miss anything I do. I'm going to go ahead and add some wine in there, probably about a half cup, because I don't think the rice is really ready to go yet. So it's taking a little bit longer, probably because I'm doing it on low. And I think it's gonna probably, by the time the whole thing is done, probably take about 40 minutes. So hang in there with me. We should be good. I'm gonna have to get a glass of that wine. So anyway, I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, everybody, we are almost there. That extra little bit of liquid that we put in, the wine earlier, and then that extra bit of wine, took about 10 to 12 minutes more to cook down. But I wanted to do that because the rice was not soft enough, and you need to make sure that rice is creamy and soft. I'm gonna bring this over here and show you what it looks like now. This is the point that I am going to go ahead and add the cheese. The cheese will cause it to firm up a little bit more. And what I am going to do at this point in time is turn it off. So we're going to go ahead and add this cheese. We're going to stir it in here. And oh my goodness, it is beautiful. Let's give this a little bit of taste. It's still going to need to firm up a little bit more. It is lovely. That with some shrimp in it, oh my God. This will be perfect though for what we're going to do. Let me bring this over so you can see it. And that's it. Thank you for being with me today. Give risotto a try. Make sure you have a little glass of wine to go with it, because it's gonna take you 35, 40, maybe 45 minutes. So thanks again for stopping in. We hope you go to our food blog at www.cabe.user.wordpress.com. So thanks again. Bye.